Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD. Welcome back to some more Dragalia Lost content. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the Dragon Special for the month of February 2020. The featured dragons on this special is Apollo, Siren, and last but not least, Shinobi. Definitely not least, Shinobi. So these are all three really solid dragons. I'm not really going to discuss the dragons too in depth. I'm kind of just going to say whether I think you should summon or not. It's probably going to be a pretty quick video, to be completely honest, but yeah, anyways, let's just hop into it. So I want to mention that they actually say in here in the notes, the new limited time adventures who appear in the Dulcet Delight Summon Showcase, which is currently live, are not included in the roster for this Summon Showcase. So obviously you can't get Valentine's Melody, you can't get Valentine's Addis from this showcase. However, the second point is actually pretty big. So the roster for this Summon Showcase does include, it does include the new dragon who appears in the current Dulcet Delight Summon Showcase and the adventures who are no longer limited time as of the Dulcet Delight Summon Showcase. However, they are not featured. So what this means is that the new dragon, who's Epimetheus, looks like he's going to be in this Summon Showcase. And it says the adventures who are no longer limited time as of this showcase, which I assume to be the first year Valentine's units. You know, Valentine's Hildegard, Valentine's Ezilith, and Valentine's Orion. So it looks like those three are going to be added to the permanent pool. I didn't think this would be the case. You know, originally when we got news that like they weren't going to be limited anymore, I was like, why would they change them to not limited? It doesn't make any sense. So I didn't think that would be happening, but it looks like it is happening, so I was wrong. You know, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong. I was incorrect, and it looks like they are no longer going to be limited, those three adventures. However, of course, Valentine's Melody and Valentine's Addis are still going to be limited, at least until next year. That's what it's looking like. So we're at least going to have them limited until next year, and they might actually just make these units like no longer limited. Something that kind of scares me, though, is if they're making these Valentine's units not limited, are they going to make summer units now limited? I really hope it's not like a sort of trade-off, like we're trading Valentine's for summer, because that would be really bad for a lot of people's Zormite, to be honest. But I do like how they're making the units not limited, because that sets a precedence for them to do this for other units and other banners. So they didn't do this actually with summer or not summer, sorry, with Christmas or with New Year's or even Halloween. Like those second year units are still limited. So I'm curious if this is just strictly a one-time thing and they're not going to do this again, or if they're going to continue to do this in the future. I really have no idea. They might do this for units that are like outdated, because like the Valentine's Hildegard and Valentine's Ezilith and Valentine's Orion are completely outdated, so they may just do this strictly for those units. I don't really know, but yeah, that is just something I did want to mention, and that those Valentine units are now looking to be in the permanent pool. So that's definitely a step in the right direction for the game, I would say, and I am happy with that change. Now, without further ado, let's actually begin discussing the Dragon Special. So there's a lot of things I want to mention before I actually talk about the Dragon Special itself and what it consists of. First of all, it starts out tonight on Reset, and tonight on Reset is actually the next story, Chapter 2. I'm going to discuss this story chapter a little bit more in depth in my version update video, which should be coming out actually later today, so expect that video later today. But the version update's not the version update, the chapter 12 in the story is coming out later today, later tonight actually on Reset with this Dragon Special. And I feel like the Dragon Special might tie in, because like Leonidas is in his dragon and stuff. I don't really want to spoil it in case you're not caught up in the story or anything, but I don't know, maybe something like that, because the Valentine's banner is still going to be up for a little bit longer. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but anyway, it's going to last until February 27th. If anything, if you do want to summon on this banner, you might want to wait until the very last day of the banner, so you have information on the next banner. The next banner might be something, really good, something that you want. You never know, so you might want to wait till then. But if not, there's a couple things to keep in mind if you do want to summon. First of all, how much Wormite do you have? Because there's 3 featured dragons, and each of them are at 0.8% chance to be pulled. So the odds of you pulling a single one is actually going to be really low. But it's likely that one of the other 2 will pity break you. And I only really recommend summoning on the showcase if you're okay getting at least 2 of the dragons. If you're only sniping for one of the dragons, unless you just need your first copy so you can mub it, you can expect to spend at least over 10,000 Wormite trying to get that one dragon, which is quite a bit of Wormite just for a single dragon. But again, it is better than like wasting a Dream Summon on that dragon, I would say. But again, that's still just for a chance to pull that dragon. You might pull it earlier, you might pull it later, you never really know. So unless you're okay pulling at least 2 of these dragons, I would not recommend summoning on the showcase, to be completely honest. Also, we just had like an array of not collab banners, but an array of limited banners that were also really solid. Like we had Christmas, we had New Year's, we had Monster Hunter Primal Crisis collab, 2-parter on that one, and then we have Valentine's right now. All these limited banners and all these really really enticing banners that make you want to pull on them, that you might not even have any Wormite. Like me, I have no Wormite. All my Wormite is dead. So if you don't have no Wormite, honestly, save your Wormite for the future banners. We have the 1.5 year anniversary coming up soon, and we could have something big on that anniversary banner, because I believe that banner coincides with the Gala banner. So we could have a nice, really juicy Gala unit there. Who really knows? But yeah, that is just kind of the prerequisite things I want to say before I actually discuss the units on the banner. But if we're actually discussing the dragons that are featured on this banner, this is actually a really solid banner. Now, this could be bait. I really hope it's not bait. They're not baiting us to summon and use all the rest of our Wormite before they drop a crazy good adventure that's like game breaking, maybe for the Gala banner on the 1.5 year anniversary. Like, who really knows? That's what I hope they're not doing. But let's discuss these units. So first up is Apollo. Now, Apollo is a very, very solid unit. He's actually optimal in slot for a lot of Flame Adventurers. Let me actually go over here. I have the DPS sim pulled up. Let's go to Flame Elements. Alright, I just want to pause the video to say this really quickly. I just noticed in the editing that you actually cannot see the dragons off of the DPS sim, so I want to say I apologize for that mistake, but again, I didn't notice during the recording, so you're going to see me look at the DPS sim and you're going to have no idea which dragon is optimal in slot. But basically, if you want to check it out yourself, just look up the Dragalia Lost DPS Simulator and you can see all the best in slot dragons for yourself. Again, I just wanted to mention that very quickly. Anyways, okay, I said a lot of Flame Adventures, not a lot. he's optimal on Zania. Now, of course, a couple of these units don't actually burn themselves, so you can't really see if they're optimal on him. But Apollo's optimal on Zania. I believe he's also optimal. Oh, he's not optimal on Yuden, actually. So is it literally just Zania? Is it just Zania? It might just be Zania. It looks like it's just... Okay, Orion also. He's optimal on Orion and Zania. So that's the only ones he's optimal on, but he's a very solid dragon, and if you're missing someone like Konan Asakya or Dread King Rathalos, Apollo is an amazing substitute for him. Like, if he's worse than Dread King Rathalos, to be honest, he's not even that much worse. Like, to be completely honest, he's not even that much worse. He's a very solid dragon. Definitely gets the job done for Agito Wind, at least. For Volk's Wrath. So he's definitely a great option to have if you're missing, like I said, Konan Asakya or Dread King Rathalos. I would say those two are better uses than Apollo, but Apollo is, again, like I said, very, very solid. Definitely better than, I would say, Cerberus or Agni. Unless he's on a healer. Healers, you would probably want to run Cerberus for the defense down, but... anyways, for healer, you want to run like Popstar Siren for the buff. So, anyways, Apollo, he's a great unit to have, and like I said, he's a great substitute unit. That's pretty much where he stands. He's a good substitute unit. Next up, I'm not going to discuss his stuff again. He's Strength 50 and Burning Punisher 20. That's kind of his main thing, Burning Punisher. Anyways, next up, let's discuss Siren. So Siren, this is not Popstar Siren like I just mentioned earlier. This is normal Siren, the water unit. This is the skill damage dragon for water. Siren is actually optimal on a crazy amount of water adventure. Let's go over here to the DPS sim. Let's get rid of Flame and let's click water. Siren is optimal on a lot of these adventures, as you can see. Pretty much most of them, I would say. Okay, not Hunter Cerise. This is probably the main one. If you plan on doing HBH with Hunter Cerise, you don't need Siren at all. Siren is not optimal, not even close to optimal on Hunter Cerise, because again, Hunter Cerise's main DPS is from her Force Strike, not from her skills. So you don't want Siren at all for Hunter Cerise. You don't want it for Gala Ellie at all. You don't want it for normal Ellie at all. But for the rest of these adventures, Siren actually works pretty well. Now, of course, it's not optimal on these two, but you could use Siren easily on those, and pretty much like, look, every other adventure, Siren looks to be optimal on. Okay, besides these three, but those three are bad. So pretty much every other adventure, it looks like Siren is optimal on. So Siren is an amazing dragon to have for water, and really, really puts the team on her back, to be completely honest, because she does have a buff with this. Increases the damage dealt by the user's next skill by 40%, which is, again, a really solid skill to have. You definitely want to just dragon and then kill your dragon as soon as possible with Siren, so you get back to your normal form, get your skills off, etc. Siren is really good. That's pretty much all I want to say. Siren is a very good water dragon, probably the best in slot, unless you're talking about Hunter Cerise. Also, that's not where it is. And let's talk about Hunter Cerise. I would say she's actually the best in slot. So Siren is amazing dragon. Apollo, really solid dragon as well. And last but not least, Shinobi. Shinobi is the best shadow dragon in the game, in my opinion. Now, we have had a slew of really good shadow dragons as of late. You know, Fatalis and Epimetheus are both solid dragons, but again, I consider them more like side grades. Fatalis, I would say, is a little better than Epimetheus, just simply because he doesn't have a condition to be that good. Fatalis just straight up is that good for Shadow. Of course, you can't shapeshift, but that's kind of like a secondary thing anyways. So Shinobi is, I would say, better because he is a Shadow skill damage dragon, and not only is he a Shadow skill damage dragon, with this skill, he also energizes the entire team, which is, wow, he's crazy. He energizes the entire team, and he's a skill damage dragon. That's an insane combination to have. And now again, his dragon mods aren't the bestest that you could have. The bestest, yes, that's a word. He's not the best that you could have, but the thing is, you just want to dragon skill and get out of dragon as soon as possible. Get back to your normal form, get your skills off, etc. Energize the entire team while you're doing that, and he's just amazing. Like, he's definitely best in slot for all high Jupiter content. You probably want to run him. Like I said, Epimetheus and Fatalis are side grades. They can definitely work, but again, Shinobi is just better. So this is an amazing banner, honestly. Now, I didn't actually go over here to the DPS sim. Let's actually go on to the DPS sim for Shinobi. Just kind of show this off. Whenever it loads. So here we go, Shinobi, and you can see right here, Shinobi is really good on a lot of units. Now, Fatalis actually does have his spots. You see like Padia. You actually see Cassandra Fatalis is best in software. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Delphi, I did know. But again, like Shinobi is really good on pretty much all these adventures as well. Like Shinobi easily slots in on all these adventures rather than Fatalis. Again, even if Fatalis is better, he's barely better, and the only reason I think he's better, actually, Fatalis is better on a lot of these units. That's really surprising. But I would again say Shinobi. Run Shinobi. Shinobi is like best on Gleo, best on Valentine's Addis, best on any unit that can bleed. So he's absolutely ridiculous. Shinobi is very, very good. Now, would I recommend you pull on this banner going after all these units? Honestly, if you have the Wormite to spare and you're not worried about the Gala, because again, the Gala could be a great unit. We could get Gala Alex, Gala Leaf. You know, there's plenty of Gala options that we could get. If you're not worrying about that Gala that's coming next month, you know, by all means, summon. This is an amazing banner, but it could just be hard bait. Like, you never know. It could be so good that they're baiting you to summon. This is definitely by far the best dragon special I think we've ever gotten. You know, 2 skill damage dragons and Apollo, who's great. This is, I would say, like I said, the best dragon special we've ever had. So if you summon, don't feel bad. But again, at least want 2 of these units, unless you're sniping for your first copy of Shinobi or Siren. That's the only reason I would say, you know, summon for a single dragon. But Dream Special is out right now if you want to just summon on that for him. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Again, let me know your thoughts on this banner in the comments down below. Is it bait? Is it not bait? What do you think? Let me know. Have a great day, and until next time, have a nice trip.